Special guest in the building, man. Josh Hubbard in the building, man. Josh, how you doing today?
Doing great, man. Can't complain.
Most definitely, bro. I don't want to take this lightly or for granted. I do appreciate you being here. A man that's really busy, but for good reason. And I just want to say thank you. And once again, like I start off my episodes, how are you doing today?
Doing great, man. It's the off season, similar to football, just grinding it out, hard work, every day, diet, all those things. So just taking it one day at a time.
Yes, sir. So let's start back a little bit from the beginning. Your upbringing. Okay, can you take me through that?
Yeah. Youngest of five siblings. Growing up it was very fun. The playful child in the group, high energy, my brothers and sisters, they were always busy, but I was always doing some type of video games, playing on the basketball court, um, and then once they left, it's time for me to grow up, and so
Mhm.
that's who I am today, man. Just humble, Parents were strict on me; they were on me 24/7. So that's just the man that they brought up.
I had an opportunity, like I said again, talking to your pops. Talk to me a little bit about your pops and some of the things he instilled inside of you. Because
Yeah,
I love talk. I had a conversation with him, and I'm a junkie for knowledge. And
yeah,
he put some game on me, man. I told him I want to sit down and have a conversation with him. But can you speak on that?
yeah. He definitely made it out the struggle. His life was not as easy. He definitely went through some things just for his kids to have a successful life, and so that we've always been appreciative of, and so yeah, he's been on all of us, like super hard, whatever career that we wanted to do, and so for me specifically, he pushed me to my limits since day one, and so because of that, he's um proud of me and proud of all of us and what we've chosen. So he's still on me to this day until we get to the dream
Yes,
complete.
sir. Yes, sir. What are some lessons that he taught you?
Oh man, he got a few sayings, but always stay humble and your rewards will be endless.
Mm,
He loves saying that. Um, I think that's the main one.
mm.
Yeah,
How do you live by that?
man, just never getting too high. On those moments, where you have those legendary games, those big wins. Just staying level headed. I think that's his biggest thing is just being consistent on being humble. You be humble. Rewards will come. The the great things will come. You success will come, and so I think whatever you do, whether you fail or you succeed, you remain humble.
Great. I want to tail back a little bit, or just we can just pick back up where we're starting off at. Your upbringing, being, playing at MRA and things of that sort. Can you speak about that beginning phase, that freshman year to senior year?
Yeah,
Let's keep on walking on up that hill.
yeah. So my high school coach, legendary coach, Coach Dwyane, he wanted me to play as a seventh grader, but my parents thought I wasn't ready as far as like those were seniors, locker room, traveling and those things, and so I understood. I understand now, but at the time, I was ready to hoop, and so uh, I started playing my eighth grade year. Did great, matured quickly, and so I think that actually helped me. Once that transferred to college, and so going back to high school, but eighth and ninth grade was kind of like just testing everything and what I wanted to do and if I wanted to take basketball seriously. And I told my dad one day, like, man, let's get it, like, let's work. And so that's when he instilled more into me, called some trainers and things like that. And then my 10th, 11th, and senior year was just strictly business,
Mm.
trying to get as many college opportunities as I could get.
So when you speak on training and trainers, can you take me through that process from where you started, the late nights, early mornings? Can you take me through that process? Because you're wired, business oriented, but granted that started somewhere. So could you take me through that?
Yeah. So the way our school scheduling was, I went to a private school, and so we had to be at school at 8:15, and school ended at 3:30. But the last period of the day was mainly sports, like football and basketball and all that. And so we would practice from like 2:30 to like 5ish, and so with the film and all that, and so like after that, you ain't gonna feel like working out. You gotta go home, do homework, and go eat and all that. So them early mornings, man, it was just normal to me. And so my dad even woke up a few times, um, and we was just going at it, And so I think that's helped me be disciplined, as far as like being uncomfortable, and so I think that was the main thing, like from high school and the training and all
Mhm. So we when do you start to see a little bit of success? It's like, okay, I can do this.
that. Yeah,
Okay, can you take me through that?
yeah. I want to say my junior year. That was when I averaged 30 points a game,
Mm.
and so like it was. I went to a private school, right? And so like a lot of public schools, they were chasing us because we were ranked over most public schools. We ended up being number one at one point, and so a lot of people thought I were underrated, just because I went to a private school.
Yes, sir.
And so I understand I would have done the same thing if I went to public school.
Yeah, you proving it.
Just point of view.
Mhm.
And so, we were selling out gymnasiums, and it was fun, man. Like my junior year, like we went to Miami to a big tournament and won the whole thing. Played Ray Allen's team, his son,
Mhm.
and so like man, it was just unbelievable. And like after that year, I was like, man, like let's get to it, man.
Mhm.
Like that's when I got some attention from college coaches, and man, it was just up from there.
So when you speak of who was your first offer, and take me through the recruiting journey as well,
Yeah,
because I know for football you have to go and maybe go to camps and things of that
hmm
sort. Like what did that process look like for you?
yeah. It was way different from football, like you said. So for basketball players specifically, like AAU, like traveling basketball, that was the biggest thing. Um, I think it was my freshman year. I believe I got all the in states like Jackson State, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss. And so at that time, man, that was unbelievable. Like I know a lot of legends at all three schools. And so as I got to my junior, senior, sophomore year, that's when I started to get a lot of out of state SEC schools like LSU, um, USC, Seton Hall, Xavier, a lot of other schools. I can't remember all of them,
Of
but
course.
yeah, man, like being a kid and you have all those opportunities, it was just cool to just go to some visits and travel the world.
What were some key things you looked at when you looked at these schools?
Yeah.
Some non-negotiables for us, like academics, playing, coaching, etc.
Yeah. I was just, man, like, I'm a pretty open guy. Like, I kind of look at a lot of people's point of view. And so, like, if you're a coach and, like, you put on a visit for a kid, like, you're gonna, like, put on a show, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, put
Yes,
on a
sir.
show. And so, like, I just wanted the truth of, like, from every visit. Like, I just wanted to see, like, what was true and what was not. And so, not discrediting any program, but I just want the best opportunity for me and my family. And so, like we just prayed about it, and we were just looking for certain aspects, like the type of coach that we're coaching, who was on the coaching staff, what were their beliefs, and things like that, and their goals, and of course, like if I could play.
Mhm. So when it boiled down to it, who were your top two?
Yeah. So I was originally committed to Ole Miss with Kermit Davis, and then he got fired my senior year, and so I had to take a step back, and then my top two were either Seton Hall or Mississippi State, but I could have went back to Ole Miss
Mhm.
because Chris Beard got the job too, and he called me the day I committed to Mississippi State, so I don't really count that one. But yeah, it's between Seton Hall and Mississippi State. So
So, of course, you chose Mississippi State. Take me through that process. Take me through just, how did that feel? And of course, it was time to get to work.
mhm.
So, just like kind of take me through that process. And also, hit on what I got a curiosity question. What is your mindset? Okay, because you're not the tallest guy,
Yeah,
but you're dynamic. You're elusive, and you're playmaker.
yeah,
Okay, knowing that, how does that fuel you?
yeah. Honestly, like I think it was just a blessing for Mississippi State. Like, man, it's been a blessing ever since I stepped foot on campus here, and so, um, like God changed my life, like for real. Like he created a stepping stone for me, created a lot of success, and I'm just trying to give the glory back. And so, um, it just felt like home. Like I know a lot of people here, a lot of my friends are here, and then I remember watching the Kentucky game before my freshman year when State played here with Cameron Matthews, DJ Jeffries, and all them, and Tolu, and like they were just having fun, and like it was just crazy, man. Like I was like, man, I could be a few hours down the road and create that same thing with the team. And so, and I knew all those guys, so like
Mm-hmm.
they were like my brothers. And so, like you said with the height thing, man, I've been dealing with that since forever. And so, it's been no really adjustment for me as far since like ninth grade. I knew I wasn't gonna be the tallest, and so I think my biggest adjustment college wise was like just keeping up with the physicality and the speed. Like when I got to college, I wasn't as strong as I am
Mm-hmm.
now, and so like I was being pushed around a little bit. And, with experience, you get used to it.
Yes, sir. So when you kind of speak of, you hit on one thing, you hit on faith, and also you hit on just things being laid out in front of you to where you've taken advantage of. Can you speak on some of those things and how it maybe even led you, okay, to what you do now in your personal life, your spiritual life, and even inside of your own business?
Yeah, man. Like I just I'm so used to like taking one day at a time. It's crazy. Like I at one point, like I used to worry about like, man, I gotta do this next week. Man, I gotta do this in 2 days. And so like once I like just took one day at a time and realized like, that day could be taken away someday
Yes.
because not every day is promised. And so like I just live my every day like it's my last. And so somebody asked me this question like, if you knew you were gonna die the next day, what would you do in that 24 hours?
Mm.
And it kind of changes like your point of view of like everything. And so like when I wake up, like that's what I try to think about.
So when you kind of hit on, your faith, how much do you lean into that?
Yeah, man, it's without God, I'm nothing.
Mm.
So without Him, I wouldn't be here. Family wouldn't be here. There would be no Josh Hubbard without God. And so like He saved my life. Um, I had a disease in fourth grade. I was in hospital for 19 days, and I didn't know at the time, but from what I've heard from my parents and my family, like the doctors didn't know what was going on, and so they told like my parents like it could be the end and like just some negative things, and so um and like God saved me, bro. And like from then, like it's just been like straight positivity and trying to give it back to Him through a sport that
Mm.
I love that He gave me talent for. So like for me to complain, for me to be negative, is like impossible. So
How do you use your platform to do so?
man, I try to do little things, like spread Bible verses, of course, like do things like I'm doing now. Um, I try to invite people to church, just little stuff like that to create something.
Speak on a little bit about your business and what is that? How did that come about and things of that sort?
Yeah, um, definitely couldn't do it without by myself. My brothers and sisters helped tremendously. Even my dad, my boy Snacks,
Hmm.
Thomas Lee, he does it as well. And so it definitely takes a village. I think I learned the more of the business side from my cousin Dwyane Wade and his sister Tregill.
Mm.
And so after seeing and hearing all those things, the business and the pros and cons, kind of helped me like in a college. I can't imagine someone like Dwyane Wade, my big cousin, like what he goes through on the business side each and
Wow.
every day. And so I think I'm going through a lot. So I can't imagine what he sees every day.
How do you use that to kind of just mold kind of who you are and a life beyond the court?
Yeah.
You know,
Um, I think that comes with experiences and just like picking his brain and what he went through, and he's obviously been through everything, and to get where he is now, like it definitely wasn't a magic trick, and so yeah, like just picking his brain, asking him a lot of questions, and just being a student.
so how have these opportunities help you grow outside of the court?
Man, it helped me tremendously. I learned a lot. I love to learn. Um, a lot of people see on the court success, but off the court matters as well. And off the court is as meaningful as on the court. It shows who you are, your character, and how you can be valuable off the court.
So my curiosity question, because I hear a lot of your humbleness, your modestness, your faith, your morals, your integrity, and things that were instilled in you from your family, your siblings, mentally. how do you balance those things and ensuring that those things are propelling you and pushing you in a direction that's kind of taking things one step at a time in the right direction?
Can you repeat that? Yeah.
How do you align mentally
Yeah.
to allow for those things to just help you and fuel you in a direction in
Yeah.
which you want to go down?
Yeah. I think mentally they make it easier for me because they always checking on me each and every day, and I don't go a day without talking to friends and family, and so like it's just hard to not align,
Mm.
when they make it so easy to align.
Yes, sir.
And so I can't take none of the credit for that because mentally they make it so easy for me.
A kid that's going through a basketball season, he experiences some highs and lows. Even you have experienced highs and lows. How do you deal with that from a mental standpoint?
Yeah, man, it's definitely hard. There was a stretch at the beginning of conference play. Wasn't playing the best over like 3 or 4 games, um, and so like family kept me up. It was to a point like they kept me so up. I was like, man, stop texting. Like we lost, and you told me good game.
Yeah.
Like I don't nobody want to hear that. And they were like, man, we just proud of you. Like God gave you the opportunity. Don't take it for granted. Little things like that. And so, um, and like don't be like, what am I trying to say? Like if you have a bad day, like try to move on to the next. That's the type of mindset that I've tried to create. Like you said, like highs and lows. Like it ain't easy. Like you gonna think about it. Like man, like wish I could go back and be more positive or something like that. And so, yeah, it's definitely not perfect through basketball season, especially SEC. And so, just trying to create that strong mindset of consistency.
Mm. So you lean back more into your work.
Yeah, the work, the preparation. God is always there. Dig into the Bible. And so it's just a habit. When you create that.
When you're in times of feeling overwhelmed with things, how do you go about dealing with such? Of course, you speak highly of your family support staff. Do you lean into those people?
Um, to be honest, nah. Because when I'm overwhelmed, I stay to myself. Yeah, and so I just try to take one thing at a time. Like I take a step back and be like, man, what I gotta do? Like, gotta do laundry, gotta do homework, man. All right, let me go get those things done. And I ain't talked to my boy Snacks one. Let me call him. Gotta go get shots up for the game tomorrow. Gotta go over the scouting report. And so, when I do get overwhelmed, I just sit back, relax, and just, all right, what I gotta do? Text in my phone, like what I gotta do, and get them done one thing at a time.
So you mentioned something, okay? Basically basketball play and things of that sort. Give me your mental breakdown for a game, your scouting report, practice habits. I want you to take me through an actual game week, toughest opponent you're about to play. What does that look like for you?
Yeah. So usually 2 days previous before a game, that's the day we're gonna start the scouting report. And so we're in the film room, we all gather, and we're just going through each personnel, very detailed, and their pros and cons, with their strengths and weaknesses. And then we get on the court, and then we talk about how we're gonna defend certain plays, certain actions, and then we practice, get better. Then it's kind of repetitive the next day. If you got to travel, if it's an away game, of course you got to travel, and then on game day, do the same thing, go over scouting report, watch the film on the players, and then before the game, you just getting your mind right. Personally, I like to read a few verses, listen to music and things like that. And so I listen to gospel, and then I gotta listen to that Drake.
Yes, sir.
Gotta listen to that Drake, and so
Drake?
oh yeah.
All right.
I gotta listen to that Drake, man. And then like after
What song
that,
we listening to?
what song?
Yeah.
I got a whole Drake playlist. I'll show you what song.
It's a wild boy here. Is he hard? Is he?
Tough.
Come on now,
Drake like calm me down.
Now listen, Drake a dog.
You
He is
got
a dog.
got
I'm not gonna hold you.
in the
Now,
Bible.
after that stuff with Kendrick Lamar, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? He taking L's. You like that? You
In
like the album with Party Next Door?
Yeah.
Come on,
Tough.
dog. He only got one
It's
song.
hard.
Give me a hug.
Give me a hug. That's it.
That's it.
Spider-Man.
Okay, keep this
Superman,
camera on this man because he loves Drake.
Mothballs.
But, okay, go ahead.
Small town fame. That's hard. That's a hit.
Okay.
That's a
Now the
hit.
old Drake was a dog.
Was a dog.
All right.
Was a dog.
All right. Okay, all right. My fault. But you threw me off with you threw me left field with Drake. But all right, go ahead. I'm listening.
But yeah, like after that, man, it's go time. You know, man, when the hump is packed, it's amazing. It's the best feeling in the world, and so, yeah, man, that's pretty much a game day.
So okay, game has started.
Mhm.
Give me your mindset, okay? Because when you're out there,
Yeah,
you got an essence, of energy about yourself.
yeah,
Okay, take me through that mindset.
yeah. So when I walk on the court, like before tip off,
Because this ain't the same guy I'm getting out there.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. When we do our little huddle by the sideline, and then we go get in our spots for tip off. First, I think about like, all right, what's the first play? You know, we get the tip off, got another play because you don't want to get subbed out or get coach mad. So, got another play, and then I look at my matchup across half court. You know, remember his pros and cons, and then we watch a lot of film on like it's a lot of percentage based, and so if they run a certain play, like the first play is like 70% of the time, you know, that's probably the most likely they're gonna run. So I just try to think of that defensively. You know, what am I gonna do? And so, what spot do I need to be in? And so, and then after that, man, it's just after the first defensive possession, the first offensive possession, that's when the game starts. So
Take me through that. Walk me through that mindset. Walk me through. Because listen. You're extremely modest right now.
yeah,
Okay, but that guy. Okay, I need that guy. I need that guy.
yeah,
All right. So walk me through that. Walk me through that. When do you know you're in that mode as an offensive lineman? Because that's what I played.
mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a little different. That mindset, that
Yeah.
mentality. Even though we share similarities when it comes just to maybe winning, I guess,
Yeah.
but it's different.
Mm-hmm.
What's that feeling when you drop in, when you 20, 30 points, 30 plus points? Like,
Yeah.
what is that? What's that feeling? How are you in the zone? Take me through that.
Man, I feel like I get in that zone after I feel good after I see a shot go in. Like sometimes I see it, it'll go in, but it don't feel good. But like when I feel good, it can get scary for sure.
Okay. Yeah, he real humble right now. This guy real humble, but this guy, hey, I seen this guy get active a lot more times than not. Hey, he one of the ones for real. But dude, I really want to say, I really want to ask you a question. Okay. Well, my curiosity is there a certain spot or a certain defensive play or a certain angle or technique that you lean more to from an offensive side and a defensive side?
Defensively, that's however James wants to defend. You know, we can't take the credit for that. He installs that into us, and so offensively, I think if I open shots, I would say the corners. If I'm wide open, I love the corners. If somebody's on me, I prefer top of the key, obviously more space, and if it's like a ball screen involved, the wing. A lot can happen.
So I'm hearing that you're fluent.
Yeah.
It don't really matter. Just put it. Okay, cool. Anybody that you look up to from a professional standpoint, or that you emulate your game off of, or things of that sort?
I take a lot of aspects from different players. Offensively, Damian Lillard, the way he creates space, passing wise, Chris Paul. And as I'm naming these guys, they are short guards in the NBA. And so,
correct.
Fred VanVleet plays for the Houston Rockets, defensive dog, lost to the Warriors, but he played amazing.
One of them ones, yes, sir.
Yeah. So people like that, Donovan Mitchell is another. And so, yeah, I just try to replicate the good things that they put down.
Let's speak of coaching.
Yeah.
Okay. what does your coach mean to you and has instilled in you from a technical standpoint,
Yeah.
even a mindset standpoint? And, does he play a big contributing factor into who you are today?
Most definitely. All my coaches, AAU, high school, Coach Jans, man, they just made who I am. Obviously it wasn't easy behind the scenes that people didn't see, and so I think like Coach Dwyane coached me hard, got in my face, embarrassed me at home games, away games, and that helped me for college and for AAU because Coach Hurd on Team that he was hard on me. Then obviously Coach Jans, y'all can see him yelling at everybody, and so like just being coachable, uh, that I think that's the biggest thing as a player, and when you're coachable and you're doing good and everything's going right, like that's from the coach. Like he puts those things in you from day one. He trusted and believed in you when you got the scholarship,
Yes, sir.
and so you just got to be thankful and got to be coachable.
This episode of Talkz with Scott is brought to you by our proud sponsor, Williams Strength. Customized strength equipment, American made. Since 1994, Williams Strength is setting the standard for performance training with elite made to order equipment for school, colleges, professional athletes, and private gyms worldwide. Every project starts with a 3D render showcasing your logo, layout, and facility colors, and ends with a full installment to bring your vision to life. Their equipment isn't just built, it's engineered to exceed industry standards with top quality materials and precision craftsmanship. Big shout out to Carl Milton and the Williams Strength team for locking in with us. We're excited for this partnership. Grateful for your support of the show. Please, guys, check them out at williamstrength.com. And if you're building a championship facility, Williams Strength is a place to call. What is some advice you would give to a younger athlete?
Yeah.
From a coaching perspective, from get the message, not the tone.
Yeah.
Okay? What's some things you would say?
I would just go back to being coachable because, man, you can't beat that. Like, I said this at my showcase banquet. For an example, like, if we're doing a drill and somebody goes before me and does it wrong, and coach yells at them and he's mad, why would I recreate that same thing and do it wrong again?
Correct.
You feel me? And so, like when you do little stuff like that consistently and you're not messing up as much as others, like, and then when he does get on you, your response, you're like, man, this man tripping. Like, you're like, yes, sir, I got you.
Yes, sir.
And so I think those two things are just huge, especially in college. High school's a little different because, if you that guy, you that guy.
Really say, yeah.
So, in college, I think those are the main two things.
You talk about your banquet. You talk about, of course, things like your annual camp. How did that come about? What does that mean to you? And what do you plan to get out of that from just a giving back standpoint?
Yeah. It all started with an idea I gave to my dad, and since then, he just helped tremendously. That's when my brothers came in. That's when my boy Snacks came in. I was in season when we did it, so I obviously couldn't contribute as much besides just pick up the phone. And we got a date, got the best players in the state, rented some venues and hotels and things like that for them, and it was just amazing. And so I got the idea from the Allen Iverson camp that I went to in high school, and it was tremendous. Like, I met a lot of great people. The banquet was awesome, playing against future NBA players and meeting old NBA players like Allen Iverson and some legends from Jersey, and it was just an unbelievable experience that helped me for college. And so I just wanted to give back to my home state in some way or fashion, and I felt like doing that was just a blessing.
Right. What are some things you would say that define you outside of the court?
Some things that will define me.
Or some things you do. Take me through, let's gently walk into this. What's some hobbies that you have outside of sport? You on the game?
Know that. Warzone.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
PS5?
PS5.
Okay.
And we don't mess with Xbox.
At all. You got to pick one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Video games. I love movies.
You see Sinners?
Dead Sea Sinners. We don't need to talk about that though. I'm gonna go into a lot of deep conversation. some theories. I got a
Jimmy
lot of
was
theories.
we was finna go really deep. I told him
Yeah.
like we talked off camera.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah, man. I love movies. I can watch movies all day. Any series, $1 Million Secret on Netflix. Tough. It's tough. Yeah.
So outside of that, video games, movies.
Bowling. You can get it in bowling.
Yeah, like so anything with a ball in your hand, you like that. There's so many words. That's what I'm hearing.
No, I'm not good at Top Golf. I love Top Golf though.
Okay. We got a weakness, fellas.
Yeah.
We got a weakness. Okay. Okay. So let's go. You're chilling. You're things of that sort. So what significant other, girl, of course, it's all you got you had your anniversary, things of that pop up. How much has that kept you grounded?
Oh man. I can go deep into that too and talk about her all day.
Mm-hmm.
Keep me grounded from day one. Keeps me out of trouble. And man, she's just unbelievable. And so the way that she supports me is unbelievable as well. So I'm just so grateful for her. Grateful that my family loves her. I'm sure they love her more than they love me. But that's how it's supposed to be though.
What are some life lessons that basketball has taught you?
I think it's taught me like how like basketball can create family. Like if you travel like in AAU or even college, like, and then you go out to eat, something just as simple as that, like that's all from basketball.
Yep.
And it's so crazy to like see and think about just a sport that you love and that some days even I take for granted. And so just being grateful for the sport and where it can take you, who it can meet you with, and just little things like that.
So you make mention of the connections that you can kind of bridge from it.
Yeah.
What are some connections and some people you've met that have really made a big impact inside of your life?
Yeah. I will start off with my dad and my brothers because of course they played and installed that in me. Gotta say my coaches, and then my big cousin Dwyane Wade. Like growing up and then hearing that he was my cousin and watching him in the finals, man, it was nothing better. So it was. I feel like, of course, I'm missing some people, but yeah.
I saw a picture with you, LeBron James and the guys out there.
Oh yeah,
yeah, man. So how are these interactions, these experiences? Because these were once people that you watched on TV, once people that you tried to emulate their game a certain maybe in your younger years, but now you're being mentioned in the same conversation, the same breath of those guys, and being in the same room with these guys, and they're embracing you. How does that feel?
Man, it's surreal. Like I still don't know how I feel like when we played LeBron's team. Like it was like we was warming up and he walked in through the side door. And it was almost like you forgetting you finna play a basketball game.
I can't.
So,
facts.
Man, it's crazy, man. And then like you said, like I'm mentioning some of those conversations with those realm of guys, and I'm like me, like Josh Hubbard, like from Mississippi, like it's just surreal, man. Like it just blows my mind.
How much does that impact you and motivate you and fuel you to just keep going?
Yeah, man. The basketball careers are short, man. The ball gonna stop bouncing at one time, and so like I'm just trying to get the best out of it, and so like it could end tomorrow, and so like I said, go back to just being grateful, man. Just putting the work in and staying motivated.
If you can give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would that be?
I would say just to myself, just stay patient and keep going.
Which you do a fantastic job of doing. So
yeah, I was very impatient growing up.
And a part of that, you speak of, MRA and things of that sort. How prevalent, how much does that school, mean to you?
Yeah, means a lot. I went there since third grade because my brother and my sister transferred there from Murrah High School, and so obviously like growing up I was confused and I'm like, man, why I'm going to private school? And so like looking back, like it's it's the foundation, one of the foundations of who I am and how I've grown. And so there's a lot of people at MRA that's helped me tremendously on and off the court to build who I am. Um, like just being around them every single day, and even the people I went to school with, like my classmates and my teammates. Man, it's just surreal.
From an academic standpoint,
Mhm.
how important is that to you? And also, how important is that for younger audiences to know that student is before athlete?
Yeah, it's very important. I just sent my mom a plaque I got today for student athlete
Awesome.
summer award.
Let's
So
go.
and then like I think I got to give credit to my high school MRA because of that. Like, cause if you want to play sports, like you got to be passing,
Hmm.
and so it created that discipline for all student athletes to do good in school. And yeah, man, like MRA just it disciplines you for
Hmm.
sure.
How do you balance out just your personal life and basketball, academics, things that sort? Because talking to you, just your mannerisms is like great,
Yeah.
but for some athletes, this can be a little bit harder.
Mhm.
So how do you balance that? If it was a freshman walking into school today, playing basketball, and he, of course, maybe comes from a different school situation. Now he got to wake up in the morning and go, go train, and then after that go to class, and after that go to breakfast and lunch, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
It can be a whirlwind of things. So, what would be some advice, and what are some tactics that you use that have assisted you?
I would encourage to get a planner. That's the one things that they told me when I got here. Just get a planner. Man, write what you're gonna do each day. It's gonna be easier. Become more organized. I think that's the main thing. Just you know it's gonna be a load on you. Make it easier. And so since you know that, you know whatever decision that you make it easier, make it harder. That's the consequence that you choose.
What are some things that you have seen that possibly have made it a little bit more challenging for other players from, let's say, self-inflicted wounds, from whatever it may be,
Yeah.
how getting sidetracked from keeping the main thing the main thing?
Mhm. So we got a teamwork. I mean, we got an app called Teamworks,
Hmm.
and so like, uh, I've seen players or classmates like not check that app. So like, that app, explains like what you're gonna do each day,
Yes,
what you
sir.
got, and even it tells you like when you have time to eat and things like that. And so you just not check that app simply, and you just go day by day. It's hard, man. I don't see how they do it.
Yeah. So I want to kind of shift gears going back into you transitioning to, you know, walk me through the process because I was talking to a basketball player. So for football, if you make a decision to declare and things of that sort, you have to pretty much live by that. But someone walked me through a process like, no, like you can go and maybe like really see what your stock may be if that entails maybe going to different places, whatever it looks like. Walk me through that process to where I can understand it a little bit more, and also the audience could as well.
Yeah. So they made the decision 3 or 4 years ago to where you can declare for the draft, but if you have college eligibility, you can go back to college.
Great.
And so um it actually creates an opportunity for the better.
Yeah, it
And
does.
so like for me personally, like I'm in the draft, and so by May 28th I have to decide if I want to come back or not. And so uh it's just create opportunity for, again, like we said, talk about basketball, like to meet new people, interviews, workouts and things like that. And if I do decide to come back, it's going to be an advantage for me the next year if I want to
Hmm.
go back to the draft. And so that's the opportunity that it creates for all players.
What made you go ahead and like it's time?
Yeah. Man, just taking a risk. Like, I believe in myself. The work speaks for itself. The work I put in, um, and just taking advantage of the opportunity. Like I was super nervous for my first workout, and like, as anyone would be. And so like, I already got the jitters out, and
Yes,
so
sir.
I already know like with the experience and what I've been through, like it's gonna be easier.
From a training perspective, do you feel um, prepared for those workouts and things of that nature.
Yeah, I think you just got to be in shape,
Mm-hmm.
and then, but if you'd have asked me that question before my first workout, I would have said no, just from me being
Yes,
nervous
sir.
and things like that. But yeah, definitely got to be prepared.
Most definitely. And what's something that you would say, just to the audience, or just from a young kid that's inspiring to, that looks up to you, from a young kid from your city, a young kid from the state? Because like you said again, you do great things. Your mannerisms, how you conduct yourself. I'm a guy that really is a first class athlete, and also a person of morale and things of that sort. What would be some advice or a piece of advice that you would give to that kid that looks up to that kid that's inside of your camp, that's like, well, in years to come, will look at the camera at ESPN, WCBI, whatever news station, like, Josh Hubbard inspired me when I was at this camp?
Yeah. Mm. I would say the main thing is keeping God first and just working. Like you got to keep God first. Without Him, it won't be no success. And then you got to work hard. The work it's not easy. Sometimes you don't want to do it, but you got to work. And you got to have God. Those two things powerful.
Extremely. Well, likewise, I want to tell you first and foremost, I definitely appreciate the opportunity of you coming here. I appreciate you just because it was literally just an opportunity. That I was talking to Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Jimmy said, bro, I want to get an opportunity talking to bro. He said, man, I hit him up. He said, Hub, really cool. I said, man, I see that guy, how he competes, how he works, and the consistency more so than anything. And I just want to say that I'm in your corner. I'm definitely rooting for you, man, because the greatest thing is yet to come. Once again, guys, this is episode 10. Big shout out to High Ground Coffee, and I appreciate you guys for housing us. Josh, I appreciate you for coming
man.
out here and just kind of just giving me your story, man. I don't take that lightly. I take that for granted, and I appreciate it, man. And once again, episode 10, like, share, subscribe, and guys, we are out.